A United States Marine Corps general apologizes in court. What is going on here? The U.S. military has strict rules of conduct that all members must abide by. If they break these rules, they could face serious punishment, including spending time behind bars. But this case is different. In today's video, we will discuss why a 4-star general had to go to court to apologize for his actions. Before we start, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. Let's dive in. On January 23, 2018, Geisted. Mario del Toro was arrested and handcuffed by military police at Camp Pendleton in San Diego, California. He was then taken to a nearby courthouse, where he was charged with assault and battery. A crowd of onlookers gathered outside the courthouse, but no one knew what had happened or why such a high-ranking officer would be arrested. However, once inside the courtroom, the story started to unfold. The prosecutor explained that del Toro was not an ordinary Marine. He was, in fact, the commanding officer of the 1st Battalion, 5th Marine Regiment stationed at Camp Pendleton. He was responsible for over 800 Marines. As such, he had a certain amount of power and authority over his subordinates. The prosecutor went on to explain that the defendant was involved in an altercation with a subordinate. According to the prosecutor, del Toro grabbed Private First Class Christopher Coles by the collar and slammed him against the wall during a heated argument. The incident was witnessed by several other Marines. And after hearing the prosecutor's account of what happened, it seemed like a straightforward case of assault and battery. The defendant stood before the judge and pleaded not guilty to the charges against him. However, everyone in the courtroom knew that the evidence against del Toro was overwhelming. Video footage showed him grabbing Coles by the neck and slamming him against the wall. Several witnesses also came forward to testify about what they saw. It seemed like del Toro would be found guilty. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost for the defendant, a man entered the courtroom who would change everything. The newcomer was identified as General John M. Davis, the commanding general of the 1st Marine Division. He was a 4-star general, which made him one of the most senior officers in the Marine Corps. No one could have predicted what he was about to do. General Davis approached the judge and requested permission to speak. Once the judge granted his request, he turned to face the Marine, looked him directly in the eye, and apologized profusely for his behavior. General Davis explained that he was sorry for grabbing Coles by the neck and slamming him against the wall. He admitted that he had lost his temper and that he should have handled the situation differently. The general also apologized to the court and to everyone else who had been affected by his behavior. After hearing the apology, the judge decided to drop all charges against del Toro. He stated that he accepted the general's apology, that he believed that he was truly remorseful for his actions. This decision shocked everyone in the courtroom. No one could believe that the judge would actually drop all charges against del Toro, especially after seeing the video footage of him assaulting Coles. But the judge was unmoved. He believed that the general had learned from his mistake, and that he would never do anything like it again. After the charges were dropped, General Davis left the courtroom to the applause of everyone in attendance. Meanwhile, del Toro was released from custody and allowed to return to his unit. News of the incident spread like wildfire through the Marine Corps. Everyone was talking about how General Davis had come to court to apologize for his actions. Some people thought it was a sign of weakness. After all, he was a 4-star general, and it was not every day that you see someone of his rank apologizing in court. Others, however, admired the general for taking responsibility for his actions. They felt that he had shown courage and humility by coming to court and apologizing. In the end, it really doesn't matter what you think of General Davis's decision to apologize in court. What matters is that he took responsibility for his actions and that he showed remorse for what he had done. In any case, this is definitely a story that will be talked about for years to come. Many people have different opinions about this incident. Some people believe that the judge made the right decision by dropping all charges against del Toro. They feel that the general's apology was sincere and that he deserved a second chance. Others, however, believe that the judge should have punished the general for his actions. They feel that this would have sent a strong message throughout the Marine Corps that violence is never acceptable. It's up to each individual person to decide what they think about this incident. There is no right or wrong answer. If you ask me, I believe that the judge made the right decision. I think that General Davis's apology was sincere and that he had learned from his mistake. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes, and it's important to remember that. Not everyone can be perfect all the time. Sometimes people make mistakes, and they need to be forgiven. I think that's what the judge did in this case. He forgave the general and gave him a second chance. I think this was the right thing to do. The general admitted his mistake and apologized. He didn't try to make excuses or blame someone else. He took responsibility for his actions, and that's what matters the most. In addition to that, the general's apology was not only directed towards the victim, but also towards the court and everyone else who had been affected by his behavior. This shows that he understood the gravity of his actions and that he was truly remorseful. The general could have easily tried to cover up his mistake and tried to avoid any responsibility. But instead, he came forward and apologized. This takes a lot of courage and humility, and I think it's something that everyone should strive for. Furthermore, I believe that the general's apology helped to resolve the conflict between him and his subordinate. By apologizing, the general was able to show his subordinate that he was sorry for what he had done. This helped to repair their relationship and move forward. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but it's important to know how to deal with it. The general handled the conflict in an exemplary manner, and that's something that everyone can learn from. Finally, I believe that the general's apology helped to create a more positive work environment. By taking responsibility for his actions and apologizing, the general set a good example for everyone else in the Marine Corps. He showed them how to handle conflict in a mature and responsible way. This can help to create a more positive work environment where everyone feels comfortable speaking up and working together. It's easy to be judgmental and critical of others, especially when they're in the public eye. But we should also be willing to forgive and show compassion when it's warranted. I think General Davis's apology was sincere and that he deserved a second chance. We should all strive to be more like him and take responsibility for our actions, show remorse, and make amends when necessary. What do you think about this incident? Let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos like this. We'd really appreciate it if you could do that. We'll see you next time.